asked me the question, what to do when her low back is pinching during back bends, and this happens all the time. Is it actually happening to you right now too? A little bit. Okay. So usually, I mean, that happens because the low back is built in a way where it's really easy to hinge. The shape of the vertebra allow for a lot of movement in the low back, but ideally you really want to bring your back bend more up into your upper back, your thoracic spine, and the thoracic spine are built more to twist. So there's anatomically it's a little bit more difficult to arch here and keep this from compressing. So what you want to do is when you're preparing for the back bend, and actually just rest your arms along your sides right now, palms down though, because you're going to use your arms a little bit. You want to kind of tuck the tailbone under like this so that the low back gets really long before you do anything. So you're starting with the low back lengthen so that it doesn't pinch quite so much. And then before you go anywhere, I want you to lift your heels up so you're on your toes. And then really start to pull the legs in, peel your hips up. Keep it really long through the low back. Keep pulling without actually moving the feet. The legs draw in. So this engages, I can feel the hamstrings. You could probably get your glutes a little bit more though. And the glutes really working. So the back side of the body starts to work a lot. Take your arms over your head. Prepare for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Go up to just the top of your head. Rest on the top of your head. Think about lengthening the low back and keeping the legs super engaged. And then press up. You can either leave your heels up or put them down, it doesn't matter to me, and push your chest this way. So ideally you're just maintaining that space. So when you're doing a back bend, and she's nice and even, her pelvis and her rib cage are about level, which is an indication that her back bend's well balanced between the upper body and the lower body. Okay, you can come on down. So when you're doing a back bend, you want it to be like 70% legs, 30% back. So it's, people tend to think it should be the opposite, but it's actually the more you use the muscles of your legs, the safer your back's going to be. And then come up to a standing mode really quickly. You can just stand up. So the other thing that really compresses people's low backs is if they start to drop back. You need to drop back and just really jet your pelvis forward. So if you don't really go, because this would be considered not very good alignment, is if the pelvis goes way far over the knees, yeah, and then the hinge happens in the low back, and then I don't really want you to go down like that. So what you want to try to do is wrap your legs and really lift up from here, and then when you start to drop back, you want it to be more of a candy cane shape. So the pelvis is, you're trying not to let the pelvis go back very far, and then I'm going to put my fists here to like really push your chest out and just keep pulling back with your arms, pull. And you want to keep dropping the tailbone down so that you maintain space in the low back. And then without moving your feet, kind of draw them in so that, again, I feel her hamstrings and her glutes super engaged. And then it's legs up. Okay. So if you're going to be pinching your low back, the best thing you can do is really try to lengthen the low back and prevent the pelvis from going too far forward. And also, I mean, the counter to the low back is the abs, so just keeping those really drawn in will protect the low back also. All right, I hope that answers your question, Julie.